All right. That's great. All right, we'll just leave it here. Okay, everybody can see, right? Yes. Good. Goodness. Every time I get ready to go. Give me 1 second, guys. Here we go. All right, we'll try that again. There we go. Okay, hopefully everybody can still see. Everybody, yeah? Good. Okay, so welcome, like I said, to our Thursday night team call. Thank you guys so much for being here. Oh, I need to look at the right camera. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm really excited to talk to you guys tonight. I'm really excited about this team call. It is nothing revolutionary. It's going to be nothing crazy, but hopefully it will be something that really takes your business to the next level. This is some basics for having that really great first impression. So if you guys have ever bought or sold a house, then you know how important curb appeal is. And what curb appeal means is just basically when you're driving by a house or when you first come up to a house, it's that appeal that it has just visually when you look at it for the first time. So you can kind of think of it the same way as your first impression. And when we as coaches use social media, we kind of have this need for having a really great curb appeal. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, that first impression that people have when they come to our social media and when they see us and when they see what we're about. And we're going to talk about 5 mistakes, 5 really common mistakes, and how to fix them and update your social media curb appeal. Okay, so let's talk about our real estate, right? We're going to be talking about Facebook, your just public profile, and let's look at the real estate that we have available with Facebook. So this is just a snapshot. And there are some main areas of interest. Just like on a house, there are main areas to pay attention to when it comes to curb appeal, like your paint, your door, your landscaping, all that kind of stuff. When we're talking about our social media real estate, we are talking about our profile picture, our cover picture, our timeline, and our About Me section that shows up on the left. This is what people can see in just the first couple of seconds of landing on your page. Let me make sure everybody's still muted. Perfect. So these are the different areas that we're gonna kind of focus on today because they're really, really easy to maintain. It doesn't take a lot of effort, but they're also, just like the slide edge, easy to not maintain and not pay attention to. And the difference can be really, really big, just like everything else with the slide edge. So let's talk about mistake number 1 as a coach. Mistake number 1 as a coach with your social media real estate is to do nothing. So a lot of times when people get started as coaches, they don't want to overwhelm people with this new thing that they're doing because they don't have a ton of confidence yet, and maybe they're nervous about how the people that follow them are going to react to what they're doing. So they don't want Beachbody or coaching or anything to take over their page, and so they do nothing. And the problem with that is that that's kind of boring, and that doesn't really give people the best version of you that they can. And the hard part about that also is that when new people who don't already know you come to your page, it doesn't give them any sort of clear indication of what you're doing as a coach. But there are some simple tweaks that you can do to really increase your curb appeal for people in this way. And you also want your Facebook profile, when people come to it, as a coach, you want it to look professional because as coaches, we are our own CEO, we're our own business owner. And if we use social media as the main source of our traffic and our interest, then you need to consider this your business's marketing section, right? And you need it to be professional, welcoming. You want it to communicate really clearly to people what you're about and what you do. So let's look at a new coach, right? This is the new coach on our team, Wonder Woman. She joined our team. She's a brand new coach. And this is an example of mistake number 1, do nothing. So before coaching, Wonder Woman just kind of used Facebook on and off. She's not like crazy into it. So she just kind of has some standard photos up. Now this is stuff that you actually see on Facebook. You just kind of see like random stock images, or maybe it's a pretty photo that that person took that they really like. And it could be a really beautiful photo. There's nothing wrong. This photo of a butterfly that has been used twice is actually really pretty, and it's a nice thing to look at, but it doesn't tell you anything about this person. You look at this and you have no indication of who this person is, if they're really Wonder Woman, if they're into anything in particular, what they're doing. So it is pretty, and that's fine, but it's random. It has no connection. It doesn't communicate effectively. Her profile picture being something that is not a picture of her, it hurts the trust that she can build with her audience, and it feels amateur. As a coach, you need to be on the next level. You need to be professional, not amateur. And it doesn't have to be some sort of crazy, white background photo shoot by a crazy expensive photographer. It just needs to be a picture of your face so people can see who you are. In her info section, she has stuff not filled out. She's got random things. She's not clear about what she does. She is unfinished and random, and it doesn't help people understand. Okay. Last, in her timeline, she just has like a random post from some guy talking about a crazy party that they went to, right? It's not adding value. Her feed is not curated. Like, yes, we can't control everything that people post on our pages, but we kind of can. We can curate our feed. I told this to someone the other day. I said, my Facebook wall is not a democracy. My Facebook wall is a dictatorship, and I control everything that is seen on it. If just because someone posts something on your wall doesn't mean you have to leave it there if you don't like it or you don't agree with it. You have full control to delete negative or nasty comments, to delete bad content that people post on your page that doesn't align with your goals and what you're interested in. You don't have to leave it. You can hide it from your timeline. Okay, let's talk about mistake number 2. Too much clutter. So too much clutter can really hurt the curb appeal of a house. As you can see by this house here, you probably wouldn't want to drop a lot of money to buy this house. The human eye, it's been scientifically proven that the human eye is attracted to clean lines, symmetry, and white space when it comes to the user experience online. That's why you'll notice that a lot of websites that utilize sales are well designed with these elements in mind. If you go to a website and it is all kinds of crazy colors, dark colors, bright colors, and none of them match, there's no white space, there's no symmetry, you don't know where to look, a lot of the times you'll get really overwhelmed and you just won't dig in, and that hurts that website, that company. It's also kind of like the difference between shopping at a boutique and shopping at TJ Maxx, where everything's just all thrown into the racks and you have to fish through them hoping that your size is somewhere in there. Kind of that same idea. It's that boutique experience as opposed to the mishmash, right? So what we want to do is we don't want it to be too cluttered, because then people don't know where to look and they get turned off instantly. It also doesn't look as professional. Even if it's a great looking thing, even if it's beautiful pictures, but there's just too many of them, it still just communicates this sense of discord. It's almost like a subconscious thing that we pick up on. So don't overdo it with the pictures that are on your page. Don't make your header picture a collage of like 100 pictures, and then your Facebook photo a collage of more pictures, and then more pictures on your timeline that are all over the place. Keep it concise and professional looking, and it will really up your curb appeal to new people coming and looking at you. Okay, mistake number 3, outdated accessories. On a house, this is a killer. All it takes is a little bit of changing out stuff from outdated to newer and more modern, and it really changes the whole look of a house. The same thing can be true on your Facebook profile. So get rid of the junk. Just because you've done it in your life, or you liked it, or even if you still like it, doesn't mean it all has to be on there. This is a huge misconception about social media. You don't have to feel compelled to share every single thing in 100% just to be authentic. Social media can be a curated picture of whatever you're into. Actually, it's your job as a professional to create a curated picture of whatever it is you're into. People don't want to know every single thing you've done, every single game you've played, every single place you went. They want to just see the stuff that makes sense all together. And if you're a coach, that has to do with the things that you're interested in with coaching and with your life, your hobbies. So get rid of those game app posts, you know, the ones that like automatically post for you when you play the game or when you use their app. Get rid of that. That is just like someone coming and putting takeout flyers all over your house. All you're doing is advertising for someone else. Delete them. Take them off your page. Get rid of old photos that don't serve you anymore. Store them somewhere else. Don't use Facebook to store those photos. If they're like old photos of you like in compromising college situations, take them and save them on a folder somewhere else. Don't use Facebook for it, and kind of streamline your stuff. If people post like photos from events that you're at and maybe you just happen to be in them, but it's not like a photo highlighting you and it's a kind of a weird photo, hide it from your timeline. It doesn't have to stay up there. Delete complainy or over polarizing posts from your timeline. Now, this is something every coach has to decide on for themselves, but as a general rule in business, slightly polarizing is good, overly polarizing is negative. Slightly polarizing is great because you draw people in to share their opinions, and that creates really good communication between you and your followers, and it gives them a chance to talk to you and to feel like they're contributing and being heard. So a perfectly polarizing post may be something like, what do you think is the appropriate tip on a takeout order? Right? Like lots of people have opinions about that, but it's not overly polarizing. Things that are overly polarizing usually have to do with religion or politics or social issues that people get really fired up about. If you're really passionate and you work in some sort of area with one of these, that's fine. But if not, just kind of make a rule to keep that negativity off your timeline. It's not going to inspire other people. You want to instill confidence in your audience. And if your stuff is spastic and all over the place and outdated, people aren't going to believe that you can really help them right now in this day and age where they are. They're not going to believe that you are an authority on what you're talking about or that you know what's going on in social media and in life and that you're going to be able to help them quickly. Okay, number 4, mixed messages. Just like a house won't make sense if it's half Victorian and half modern, you have to narrow your focus. So the best way to do this is to pick 3 to 5 content types and then rotate between them. Now, this doesn't mean that you're always locked into this. This is a general rule, but it's a great thing to do when you're thinking about who you want to be as a coach, who you want to attract to you as a coach, and the things that you're passionate about, where you want to help people, the things that make you you. Narrow down 3 to 5 areas of interest. And then that gives you really great clarity for your social media posts. I asked in our team page the other day what yours were, and you guys had some really great ones. But that is exactly what I'm talking about here. So you want to narrow down into that. You don't want your Facebook that you're using primarily to talk about your business, to find new people, to inspire people. You don't want it to be all over the place, sending these crazy mixed messages where people don't know what you're into. Are you into this? Are you into that? Are you a coach? Are you a part-time coach? Like, what's happening with all of this? No, bring it all in. And I know that that can be scary because your gut reaction is, well, I'm going to lose people. I'm going to turn people away. But the truth is that when you narrow your focus, you actually attract more people to you that are exactly who you're looking to connect with. So don't give into that fear that you're going to turn people off if you stop talking about a certain thing or if you only focus on, certain aspects of who you are. You're absolutely not. What you're going to do is you're going to compel people who are similar to be even more connected to you than they already are. And lastly, remember that you are a business. You are a business owner. You need that CEO mentality. And even though Facebook is fun and it's free and we use it to connect with our friends and family, if you are a coach and you are using Facebook as your primary method of sharing your journey, then Facebook is your business marketing, okay? And you need to think about it the same way a business would think about their website or a print advertisement or a billboard. You need to think about it with that same shrewd business mind. And you have to think, is what I'm putting out helping my business or hurting my business? And if you think about that with each post, over time, just like the slide edge, you're going to see this incredible pulling together process on your Facebook where it just gets really, really, really refined. And you've got this incredible first impression to give to people. Mistake number 5, letting junk pile up. So we've all driven by houses that in and of themselves are perfectly fine, but they just have junk everywhere. They've got like all kinds of potted plants. Some are half dead, some are here, some are there. They've got like some garage sale leftovers or stuff that the trash truck didn't pick up. They've got like kids' toys. It's crazy, right? And it kind of ruins the look of the house. It doesn't look put together. It doesn't look maintained. And it kind of sends a message that this person is not very organized, or that they don't have their life under control or managed. So police your timeline. If you go to some big event, like even Summit, this is a great example. If you go to Summit and you're getting tagged in a million pictures, right? That's great. But when someone new comes to your page, if it's going to take them scrolling through tagged photos of you for 5 minutes to get to your first value-adding post, you're going to lose them. They're not going to really know what you're about. They're just going to know that you went to some big event and took a lot of pictures. So police your timeline. Hide things if they don't fit in with what you're doing, or if they don't fit in with the overall look of your flow. Decide what your off-limit topics and items are. So this is just as important as picking your 3 to 5 content types. Excuse me. Deciding on your off-limit topics and items is super important. There's not really a right or wrong answer here. It's very personal and just depends on you. You can set your line wherever you want it, but stick with it. So for me, my off-limit topics and items, I don't talk about religion or politics on my Facebook page. I just don't. Unless it's something that's super, super general, I'm not going to talk about it on my Facebook page. Doesn't mean that I don't have an opinion on it. Doesn't mean that I don't participate in either of those things. I've just decided that on my business platform, that's an off-limit topic for me. I also don't post personal things about my family. I'll post little peeks into our day or funny things that my son did, but if my family is going through something intense or turbulent or just personal, I don't post photos of like family reunions or anything like that. I keep my business stuff to my business. Yeah, I do, Kendra, I do have another place where I make sure to be able to share photos with my family when we go to events and stuff, but my page on Facebook is strictly for my coaching business. And then do regular maintenance. So if something isn't working, delete it. I do this all the time. If I go through my timeline and I'm like, oh, that post didn't really go over that well, or I don't feel like that picture looks great with everything else that I'm doing, I just delete it after the fact. It's not that big of a deal. If I put something out in, the rush of the moment and later on I kind of am like, I don't know if that really clearly communicates what I want, I just delete it after. So do regular maintenance. Think of it like pulling the weeds in your garden, right? Go through, make sure that the photos that are showing up are ones that you are fine with having them on your timeline. If people tag you in posts or share videos with you or whatever, make sure that all that stuff is stuff that you would want a potential customer seeing when they come to your wall. Because remember, that's what they see. They go through your timeline. So they see the pictures people tag of you, the videos people share with you, the silly posts that people tag on your wall, all of that kind of stuff. It's not just for you. It also is being seen by them, and it's contributing to their image of who you are. Okay, so let's talk about Wonder Woman again, right? Here she was as a new coach. So now let's say Wonder Woman kind of listened to some of these things and she was like, you know what? I can up my Facebook game, right? I can make my cover photo something that's more personal. I can show off some of my interests in it, and maybe I can change my profile picture so it's not random and it's something more personal. And she updates her page to this. Now this is something that you see in a lot of just random coaches. If you're looking around, you see this. Okay, so now we're a step closer, right? She has put some work in. It is A for effort, but we're not quite there yet, right? So this person has now put an actual picture from their real life as her profile photo. She's taken some photos of stuff that she's into, like now this is her team of people over here. She's into, fighting crime and saving the world, Wonder Woman. She's into healthy eating. She's got this photo of all this produce, and she made this collage. But it's cluttered. It's too busy. It doesn't really communicate anything about her other than the fact that she just threw 2 pictures together. And then another big mistake is that her profile picture is still not a picture of her. It's a picture of her kid, which is great. Her kid is adorable in that Wonder Woman costume. So stinking cute. Maybe this was take your daughter to work day. Who knows? We know that she loves her kid. Maybe she's trying to communicate that she's a mom, but that's not the best way to do it. Your profile photo, if you are a business building coach, needs to be, no excuses, a photo of your face. Because if you do not have your face there, people cannot connect to you, and it builds this distrust. They wonder, what is she hiding? Like, does she not look healthy? Is that why she doesn't want us to see her? Why don't I see any pictures of this person? Why are they not showing me what they look like? What are they afraid of? Not good. That's not the effect we want. Like I said, her timeline or her Facebook cover photo, it's too cluttered. It looks unprofessional. It doesn't draw you in. And then lastly, she's not taking care of her timeline. She's got this horrible Candy Crush notification up here. Just don't. If you play Candy Crush, I'm already going to judge you a little bit because you could be doing so many other better things with your time than playing Candy Crush, but it's fine. We all have our vices. I get it. I watched like 3 hours of Gossip Girl the other day, so whatever. But don't let it be the things that are filling up your timeline. That's not inspirational. It doesn't add value to other people's lives. Okay, so now let's look at the difference, because this is where a lot of coaches get stuck. And I see this kind of stuff, and I know that you guys are trying, but if you can just take it one step further, it's going to make all the difference. So let's look at Wonder Woman, same person, same coach, same interests. Nothing has changed except that we give her Facebook an update using the tips and avoiding the mistakes we talked about today. Boom. This is a coach you would feel comfortable reaching out to, right? This is someone who you're like, this girl is cool, right? Like, look at her. She looks awesome. She's got this cool photo of her. She's got this awesome header. Like, what's going on here? Like, this is someone who I want to follow. So let's dissect her new profile. She has a photo. Her Facebook profile photo is one where you can clearly see her face. It is a picture of her face. And it is well lit. It's flattering. You can connect with it. You can see exactly who she is, what she's about. It's perfect. Her cover photo is now just A+ across the board. It is simple. It is clean. It clearly communicates what she's about, her values, her interests. It's professional, and it invites you to connect with her. It says, follow my journey on it. It invites you. It gives you a step to connect. When you look at this, you think, oh, this is someone who is really trying to connect with me. When you look at this one, you don't see any of that. This does not invite you to talk to this person. This does not invite you to reach out to them. This one does. This one, all we know about this person is that they have a kid and they like vegetables, right? That's literally all we've learned. This one, we've learned that this is a woman that is confident. She's got a photo of her face right there. She is into teamwork, girl power, friendship, saving the world. She's created a little tagline for herself, just an Amazon woman who decided to go for it, right? Like, that's her thing. And then she says you can follow her. Follow my journey. That means when I read this, I think, oh, she's going to be sharing something interesting. I might be interested in following what it is. Lastly, she makes sure that she's policing her timeline, and she's got value-adding content showing up first. So when I come to her page, I don't have to scroll through a bunch of junk before I get to something that she has said herself. She's got this inspirational quote right here. She's talking about feeling great after her workout. I'm totally into this chick. I'm totally going to follow her. I might send her a message and ask her advice on what her favorite fitness program or workout to do is. Do you guys see the difference between some really simple tweaks, how much of a difference this can make? So I pulled a couple of Facebook profiles. We're going to do some more case studies of coaches who I think are really successfully doing this. So number one, Lindsay Matway. And I tried to pick ones that each of theirs had a very different look to them. So Lindsay, she's got a professional photo here of her face. It's just her, doesn't have a bunch of other people in it. That's another thing. If you have a photo of you and a bunch of your girlfriends, no one's going to know which one you are unless they already know you. I can't tell you how many times I type in the names of people who fill out coach applications, and it's like a picture of them and 8 girlfriends, and I'm like, I don't know which one Lindsay is. I don't know who you are. So even though that's fun to have that picture up there, if you're going to have a picture of a group photo of you, throw it in your cover photo. Don't use it for your profile photo. Your profile photo needs to be your face. Okay, so then she's got all of this cool information up here. She's got more photos of her. She's got this lighthearted, kind of goofy one here. She tells you what you're going to find on her page. She says to click for more details. If you click on her cover photo, she has like a biography written out with info on how you can connect to her. It's really, really great. She's got her email. She's got her website. This is a great way for you to get information to people right away. She's got the things that she's interested in, her 3 to 5. So she's basically making a commitment to you that if you follow her page, this is the kind of stuff she's going to give to you. This is basically an interaction. She's saying, follow me and I will give you faith, passion, inspiration, dream building, and fitness. And then it's her job to make sure that that happens. And she does. If you go to Lindsay's wall, she's constantly got value-added content on the very top of her thing, so you don't have to go looking for it. And then her about section is filled out really clear and easy. You see that she's the CEO and founder of the Bombshell Dynasty, that she's an entrepreneur. She's got all of her different connections and stuff in here. It's not vague. She looks like a real person. It doesn't look like a fake Facebook account. All of that kind of stuff. So great stuff. Next one, Anita Miron. She is another top 10 coach. If you guys don't know who she is, look her up. She's super cute. So she has another professional looking photo, just her face. Anita is a mom, and being a mom is a huge part of Anita's niche as a coach, but she still has a photo of her, not her children, not her and her husband and her kids, just her face, because she is the person that you want to be connecting with. But then all of that other stuff is up here, right? Now, Anita's whole thing is this kind of positive, cheery, happy personality. She's got all this bright yellow kind of picture in the background, totally communicates that vibe. She says, click the banner for a free meal plan and more info. That's interesting, right? Like, that's kind of cool. So when you click on this, she's got, kind of like Lindsay, she's got a little description of who she is, and then she's got a link to something cool that you can have for free. That is a really, really cool thing that she's doing. This is her little, tagline or niche. You guys don't have to feel pressure to come up with one of these, but it's kind of like how Lindsay just wrote out the things that she's into. This is kind of what Anita is, a small world, but big dreams, basically. She's got her transformation photo here because that's a big part of who she is as a coach. Notice that Lindsay doesn't have that because Lindsay's transformation is not as big a part of her story. Lindsay's life transformation is the big part of her story, not necessarily her body transformation. So that is what she focuses on here. Anita's body transformation is a big part of her story. So she has that included right here. And then she's got this picture, this happy picture of her and her family, because that is a huge part of what she talks about as a coach. She's always posting photos, with her kids working out with her, talking about how important family is. She's got that photo. And then she just has this kind of fun photo of her up here again. It's bright. It's fun. It has a lot of stuff going on, but it's not visually cluttered, you can still have different elements and not have it be crazy. And it shows off her main focuses. And she's also constantly adding value, and she has her about sections perfectly filled out. Okay, last, I want to talk about a coach on our team, Sarah Matthews. This one I wanted to include because Sarah does not have one of the studio headshots like a lot of the other coaches have that you see. So I don't want you to think that if you don't have a studio headshot, you can't have a good Facebook profile, because it's not the truth. You can have just as great of a photo that you took on your phone, or that you have your husband take of you, or from somewhere that you went when you were feeling really beautiful and confident, and you can just crop it down to show your face. This is a beautiful photo of Sarah. It completely makes you connect with her, and it's a great option. Okay, then she has a collage as well, and since Sarah is a mom, she's got photos of her kids, her kids' little toes. She talks about striving for more in your life. She's got a picture of some healthy food, and she's got her progress photo right up here. When you come to Sarah's page, instantly, this is not just an average person on Facebook, right? This is not just your run-of-the-mill person who's using Facebook just to chat with their old high school friends. This is someone who has purpose. And that is something that is really cool because it makes you stop and look a little bit more. Maybe you read, oh, okay, let me look more. It says wife, mother, artist, daydreamer, girl boss. That's cool. And it kind of draws you in. And you think, oh my goodness, this is really inspiring. I have kids. I want to eat healthy. maybe I'll follow this girl and see what she's up to, you know? And that is exactly what you want. She also has a killer first post for people to, when I took the screenshot at least, she had a killer first post for people to see if they were visitors. So she's adding value on her page throughout the day. And so it's constantly showing up. She's got all her stuff filled out. She looks like a real person. She communicates what she's doing. I love it. This is a great example. So you don't have to have hired Danette to take your headshots. You don't have to pay a professional photographer to do them. You can still have just nice photos, you know, of yourself from your life and still have a great looking curb appeal to your Facebook profile. Okay. So here, recapping, here is a little checklist for you to up your curb appeal. These are some questions you can ask yourself. Is my profile photo a well-lit, flattering photo showing my face and only my face? Yes or no? Is my cover photo complimentary, clean, not too cluttered, and communicates stuff about me? Does it communicate kind of along the lines of what those 3 to 5 things are? Is my coaching career easy to see? Is my contact info easy to find? Now, I know that there are some of you guys who have to be careful with this because of your jobs. So you may be, spreading yourself between different platforms, but you can still find ways to make sure that health and fitness is something that's clearly communicated often enough that people can know that they can talk to you about it. So if you can't yet say that you're a coach because of your job or whatever, there's still other ways to do this. So just make sure that if someone came to your page, can they see that you're into this community, that you're into this as something that you're inspired about? Do they feel like you could be someone they could reach out to ask advice from or to ask for help from? Because that's in essence what we want people to feel comfortable with. Lastly, are the first 3 to 5 posts on my page adding value to the people that come, or do they have to scroll forever through a bunch of junk before they find anything good? Next, tools for your toolkit. So I know that you guys are probably like looking at your Facebook pages going, oh my God, I need to change this and that and this and that. So don't freak out. This is not something that's going to ruin you if you don't do it all at one time. This is just to give you some ideas to work to tweak this over time to really maximize what you're getting from your social media. So here are some tools for your toolkit. Success leaves clues. So look to those that inspire you for inspiration for your own page. So if there's a certain coach that you were just really compelled by or attracted by, go and look at how they're doing it. Get some ideas. Now, I'm not saying like pull their thing into Canva and just put your photo on top of it. Like, don't completely rip off someone else's stuff, but use it for inspiration. So let's say you're kind of like Lindsay, and maybe you don't have a huge transformation in your body, but you have a huge like mental transformation or life transformation as a coach, then maybe this is kind of a good direction to go with it. Or maybe you're like Anita and your transformation in your family is a really big deal in your business. So maybe maybe adding your transformation is a good thing for you. Whatever it is, you can look to those people for inspiration. You can also look to your favorite brands. If you have a favorite brand that you love, go to their Facebook page and see how they're doing it. See what kind of stuff they have in their cover photos. See what they're communicating with. Get inspiration outside of the Beachbody world too. That'll even help you stand out from all the other coaches because you won't look exactly like everybody else. For your cover, programs like Photoshop, PicMonkey, and Canva all work really, really, really well. If you are digital media savvy, then Photoshop is really a great tool for you. But if not, PicMonkey and Canva are free tools that are available, and you can make collages on those. And if you're on your phone even, you can make collages in programs like Moldiv, M-O-L-D-I-V, for your Facebook. The Facebook timeline image dimensions are 851 pixels wide by 315 pixels high. So if you want to make one that will exactly fit, that is the dimensions that you want to work with. So if you're using a program where it will let you specify the size, that's the size you want to do. Next, square images show up the most consistently on your timeline and in the news feed. So if you want to have a really consistent look, only ever upload square images because they fill the entire window. I don't know if you ever noticed if you post portrait images, which means that they're taller than they are wide, like this. Sometimes they show up like shrunken in your Facebook wall, and you're always like, oh, that doesn't look as cool as I was hoping. It's just, I don't know why Facebook does that, but square images always show up filling the whole thing, and it always looks square. So if you want to have it really consistent going all the way down, then you can only upload square photos, which also makes your life really easy if you share the same content between Facebook and Instagram. You can just use the same photos for both. And apps on your phone like Afterlight and ViscoCam, you can use them to crop your photos into squares. Okay, so let's wrap up and talk about your action steps for this team call. Over the next week, so don't freak out and like stay up till midnight today and then skip all your vital behaviors doing this tomorrow. So over the next week, I want you to do a Facebook audit. I want you to look at your Facebook. I want you just go to the front page of it and act like you don't know yourself. If you were a visitor, would you want you as your fitness coach or business mentor? Would what you're seeing make you feel confident with that? Next, ask a really good friend, maybe your spouse or a success partner, to review your Facebook page and have them tell you the 3 to 5 things that they think your Facebook page most communicates. And then see if those line up with your 3 to 5 topics that you've picked out. If they don't, maybe you need to shift your focus to the kinds of stuff that you're sharing. And maybe they're going to give you some really great insight into yourself. Maybe they're going to say, you know what, you just kind of show like this make it work mom mentality, and I love that. And maybe you don't even realize that about yourself, and maybe that can be something you incorporate into what you do as a coach. So don't be afraid to ask people for feedback, because sometimes they'll tell you really awesome things that you don't even see about yourself, because we're our own worst critics. Next, give your Facebook a little update. Even if you already feel it's good, little refreshes can always be good. So even if you feel like you've got all this stuff on lock, if you've had it the same way for like 6 months, maybe just switch out an image here or there. Give it a little update so people see that, you know, you're progressing and you're evolving and changing. And if you feel like you're not quite there yet, go back through this call, look at the recording, and go step by step through the different mistakes and see if there are little things you can tweak. And then, just as kind of a habit to continue on in your business, curate your timeline. Delete posts that are inconsistent and distract from your overall message and that do not align with the ideas of inspiration and transformation, because as coaches, that's what we want to be showing and communicating. And stuff that doesn't go with that is just inconsistent and distracting to the people that are coming to look at us. So I hope that this helps you guys get an idea of some stuff that you can do to really just maximize your Facebook real estate, because you guys are all incredible people. I know that you are so cool. I know that you have so much to give to the world, so much inside yourself that is inspiring and beautiful. And I want your Facebook outside to look as beautiful as I know that your real life insides look. And sometimes it just takes a little bit of work here and there to kind of pull it all together to make that big difference. But I know that if we can get everybody to hear, it's going to make a big, big difference in people feeling confident in you as a coach, people feeling confident in you as a business mentor, and people feeling confident to just reach out to you and to connect with you and to respond with you in ways that maybe they haven't up until this point. So I'm really excited. If you need any help, feel free to ask questions in the team page, and we'll kind of all pull together and give feedback and tips and suggestions. I'm going to go ahead and stop the share so that we can have just a quick little Q&A time. Hopefully this was helpful to everybody. Let me scroll through the chat. Let's see. Let me stop the recording too.